Good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you may be watching this transmission. It is I, Mike Martins. Welcome to a very special edition of Cant Read Market Talk. And let's look at the markets this morning on what is happening in the markets. The S&P TSX is down 7.44 points, sitting at 16,419. The S&P 500 is up 7.68 points, sitting at 2,997. The Dow Jones is up 4.70 points, sitting at 27,006. Canadian to US dollar is trading at a comfortable 76 cents. So you're seeing a dip earlier in the markets and an uptick in the Canadian dollar. Crude oil is down 0.33 cents, putting it at $53.03. Bitcoin is at 10,666 decimal 28 Canadian. I will get to the Bitcoin American number, so nobody freak out there when they think their Bitcoin's going through the roof. And we got gold futures. Sorry, guys. It's a nice early morning here. $1,499.40. It's up $5.40, and the Russell 2000 is up it's up 12.70 points, sitting at 1,537.75. The 10-year bond is dropped 0.012 points at 1.736. Nasdaq is up 8,147.75, up 23.57. Volatility is looking good at 1398. At 0.30. So this means VIX should be going up like crazy. VIX. Oops, wrong one. VIX. There we go. Come on, VIX. Yep, it's up. I knew it was going to go up today. I kind of hedge it along with the price of gold. Gold markets, and it's always give or take, right? So anyways, we got, no one's getting notifications anymore for live streams. So I'm not sure what to do. I don't know if there's a mass emailer. I don't know, man. So no one's getting notifications anymore for live streams. I received like 85 emails yesterday, maybe 90. I'm not kidding you. And it's the same thing, Mike. You got to do something to notify us if you go live. We want to see you live. Blah blah blah. But there's only so much. Like YouTube's supposed to be doing this for me. But because I'm not talking about pouring gravy down my pants 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I'm going to have a little bit of a problem getting people to tune in live, right? Or unless I find something offensive or something, and then maybe I might get a little bit more, views if I find something offensive. Or if I find the color of pudding offensive or something, maybe they might give me a little bit of leeway. So anyways, all right, let's do this. Is Canada on the verge of getting sucked into a recession? The experts dig in. Guys, we know this. We know we are on the verge of getting sucked into a recession when our political leaders are right now debating on global warming. That's our number one. And climate change and pipelines. So when they're arguing and battling over that stuff during the debates, it's all about climate change and global warming. They don't care less about us, especially when we have a massive opioid crisis across Canada. We got, I don't know how many thousands of overdoses per year. Then we have a fentanyl crisis too. That's also taking a lot of lives, a lot of young lives. And then we got billions, like $200 billion laundered through Canada, and that's what's keeping our GDP going, is laundered money. And then we got mass amounts of foreign investing, and a lot of people taking their money offshore. China is going through. I hate communism, and I don't blame people that are woken up in mainland China that don't want to. They know what communism is, and they don't want a part of the communist regime are parking their money in other countries, right? And I don't blame them for that. It's our governments not doing their due diligence, right? On our end too, right? So the tennis court's got two sides, right? The ball goes back and forth until it drops on one side, or it falters on one side, or somebody fouls, right? So, um, they're not bringing up um, the money laundering crisis, which is huge, opioid, fentanyl, housing affordability. Average wages haven't moved. We're not talking about minimum wage. They always fight for minimum wage. It's average wages don't move. And the mass exports of our doctors and our practitioners and all these people that make sense to have in our private sector, public sector, sorry, are leaving. And Canada's boasting about this huge, hey, we got this huge 40,000 jobs created last month or whatever. So what? They're all public sector jobs. They're all government jobs. What's the point? And then in small writing at the bottom, oh, private sector is down 20,000 jobs. Like, come on, give me a break. Seriously? So what is happening? So Netflix gains as analysts praise mitigates threat of rivals. What's mitigates? Mitigates. Is that another Netflix or something? Crude slides, U.S. refining declines to lowest since Harvey. Whoa, oil dropped after U.S. refineries slowed processing to the lowest rate since Hurricane Harvey struck the Gulf Coast 2 years ago. Futures slid as much as 1% in New York. The latest, Merkel happy at Brexit deal approval. Latest on Brexit, all times local, 6:35 p.m. A visible happy Angela Merkel told reporters at Brussels she's achieving the deal that has been real hard work. So, yeah, lots happening in Germany, too. Especially, they're going to blame the housing crisis. See, UK, the UK is lucky. They're lucky because they could blame their housing crisis on Brexit or their economy crash on Brexit, right? They don't blame it on what actually happened and how everybody left. The middle class basically left London and moved to Middle England and the bigger cities to move to Middle England because they can't afford to live in the big cities anymore. They don't discuss that stuff. They don't discuss how 1 in 3 properties are vacant, right? They don't discuss these things. And, okay, best advice for investors who are scared, Elizabeth Warren. Don't be scared. I don't think she's going to win. And Saturday drama, Brexit battle to decide in the UK Parliament. So, again, this is a big deal. Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who has lost every important vote in Parliament since taking office, faces a titanic struggle Saturday when he puts his Brexit deal. U.S. home starts to fall 12-year high on a multiplied drop. The U.S. home construction in September pulled back from a 12-year high. So, yeah, billionaire governor's family farms get subsidy. Of course they get subsidy. Governor received $125,000 in soybean corn subsidies. It's only billionaires that get that stuff. UK and EU reached Brexit deal with Parliament as next hurdle. Businesses in British Columbia have discovered nobody cares. Cities level experts better U.S. economic data late in fourth quarter. And stock market news, October 17. U.S. stocks gain as Dow turned to negative during intraday trading as earlier optimisms over Brexit deal was overshadowed by mixed set of recent earnings. I think that Trump's tweets are more damaging. I think they're all more damaging than the Brexit deal could be times 10, to be very frank with you guys. So, I want to get somebody in from the UK, hopefully, on the show sometime to give us a little bit of a roll down on what is happening on the streets of London and what's happening if they're in the UK, what they're feeling and how they're kind of, and the whole Brexit thing was because of mass immigration problems, and that was the whole reason for Brexit, right? The main reasons. And second is trade. And third would be probably more of an economic, non-trade economic, but more of an economic bipartisan, bilateral movements of equities, right? So, yeah, looks like fluffing sales, Aurora sales, so cannabis sales are, I don't even care. Loblaws collected too much info for $25 gift cards. Yeah, so Loblaws is offering gift cards and stuff, but they're apparently asking a million questions about where you're from, how many kids live in your house, what religion are you. Yeah, we're going to get to that right now, Timothy. U.S. Federal Reserve has printed 1.2 trillion for the repo market. Yeah, repo markets are failing horrendously. What is it? QE infinity. It's over. It's finished. I've been calling this thing QE infinity since QE2. I remember QE2. It's QE infinity. I'm beginning to think the masses are too dumbed down for democracy, says Andre Nicotina. And then Jordan Natro says, "What's up, Mike? What's up, guys? Thanks for coming in to the show." And we got the comments rolling here. I got a lot of people messaging me on our Skype and telling us that they are not receiving any notifications. What's new, guys? This is old news. Everybody knows this. No one gets notifications, right? All right. Stocks rally, stalls after all-time highs. Markets wrap. Crude slides. U.S. refining declines lowest since Harvey. We already read most of this stuff. Morgan Stanley traders led Wall Street with surprise gains. Wow. What did they have to spoof to get that right? And Hazentab flips to safe haven currencies after $3 billion loss. So, you know what, guys? I'm going to tell you through the grapevine, I honestly think China is going to announce a fully gold-backed currency soon enough. I think it's going to be tough for Western countries to compete with China. So it's going to be a very interesting turn of events. Let's move over here to Bitcoin price. You guys waiting there? Bitcoin price in U.S. dollars is $8,084.42, up 1.34%. We got to check up with Chris Green to see if he's trying to sell these more cryptocurrencies for people. Woo! All right, silver. Where's silver at? Oh, look at silver. It's up, guys. Do you remember when gold crashed 3 days ago? It crashed big time and went down huge. Well, I quadrupled down on it, and I woke up this morning to lush green. I quadrupled down on gold and silver. I bought Bayhorse silver. I call it Bayshore. Bayhorse. There it is. Bayhorse. Guys, remember, do your own research, okay? There it is, 11 cents. I bought it yesterday at 10. There it is. I bought it here yesterday. And it's sitting at 11 cents. And I bought quite a few of them, actually. I bought Bayhorse. I bought Baytex. Not Baytex. Eldorado. Eldorado right here. I bought Eldorado yesterday at, was it $10? $9.80. I bought it here. I bought it at like nothing, like $9.80. I bought Eldorado. So I'm looking at this stuff. I quadrupled down on everything right across the board. Because I believe in my heart of hearts that we know that things aren't normal in the markets. This repo market's ripping crap apart. I just saw an article. Hold on. Let me just find where it was. There we go. Uninspiring U.S. data. So Canada's dollar is rallying today because of the jobs output of public sector jobs. Canada creates 60,000 public sector government jobs. Who cares? How are they going to be funded? By taxpayers. Why are taxpayers funding more government jobs to create more red tape? What's the point? To further enslave Canadians. We want governing on our streets, fix the damn roads, pick up the garbage at least twice a week, do other things instead of, I don't know, man. I don't mind government. Look, I have nothing against government, but I have a problem against too much government. Too much red tape, too much bureaucracy, too much freaking dams, Too much dams holding everything back. For what? All right, this is the article I was looking at. Gold prices slightly up after uninspiring U.S. data. Get caught up. Okay, this is from Kitco. So these guys follow gold like anything and everything that happens in this planet. Gold prices are slightly higher in early U.S. trading Thursday. A batch of U.S. economic data just released was a mixed bag, but leaned just a bit on 1 week side. Just gave the gold market a slight lift. December gold futures were last up $1 at an ounce at an ounce at 1,495. December COMEX silver prices were up at least 14 cents. That puts it at 17.58 an ounce. Asian and European stock markets were mostly up overnight. The U.S. stock market indexes are pointing towards higher openings when the New York day session begins. Risk appetite among traders and investors is a bit more robust. Thursday on reports, the UK and the European Union have reached a deal for UK to leave the EU. Brexit under good conditions. The deal needs to be ratified by both governments' parliaments. However, the Brexit news is making more for a strong rally in British pound, which has hit a 4-month high. The Brexit news also put some overnight pressure on safe haven assets like gold. So NYMEX crude oil prices are slightly lower, trading at $53 a barrel today. The other key outside market sees the U.S. dollar index lowering and hitting a 6 weeks low overnight. The greenback is fading due to, in part, of some downbeat U.S. retail sales data released on Wednesday. That adds up the odds of the Federal Reserve interest rate cut coming yet this year. So, guys, the repo market bullcrap, robbing Paul to pay Paul back is not working. So they're gonna have to set some things aside to get this fixed. U.S. economic data due for release Thursday includes the weekly jobless claims report, the Philadelphia Fed Business Survey, new residential construction, industrial production, and capacity utilization, and the weekly DOE, liquid energy stocks report. So here it is, guys. So last closed 15, 16, and 17. So basically, when things hit the fan a few days ago, I just quadrupled down on everything. I didn't care. I didn't care. Yeah, so we got Ben Zitrov there saying 10 billion in injection by the Fed today. What's new? Of course, the QE infinity is going to keep going, guys. I used to call it, I did a video like 7 years ago or 6 years ago called QEI. When QE came out, when quantitative easing, when they call it a quantitative easing, when QE2 came out, I call it QEI. Quantitative easing infinity. It's over. Limited government seems impossible with a rigid monetary system. It's designed to perpetually accumulate debt, says Andre Nikitina. 105 billion, says Ben Setrov. Yeah, that's how it's going to have to work going forward, right? But, I'm looking at the stocks I bought. I bought El Dorado at 980, I think. I got to check. There's Bayhorse Silver, 11 cents. I bought it at, I think, 9 and change, I think I bought it at. And what's in my other stocks? I'm just trying to think of other stocks. Is it Nova Silver. There's a couple of them. I can't remember which one that was. There's a couple of them I have. So quite a few, actually, silver companies I'm invested in right now. And, Scorpion. Scorpio, where's silver? Scorpio Minerals, is that it? I'm under Scorpion, another one called Scorpion, and a Bear Silver, or something like that. Man, I gotta get these tickers out. I got these tickers here for you guys, if you guys really want to know. This is what I've bought in. When we dropped, I bought in again, and I show you what I bought here. I'll give you guys some companies that you guys need to research on your own, so you could do your own finance, your own kind of, you know what I'm saying? Okay. This was thrown to me yesterday, guys. ELP.V. This was thrown to me yesterday. Guys, check this guy's ELP. Is that ELP? Yeah, EPL, sorry. I'm dyslexic. Here it is.
Well,
Eagle
U.S. Vice
Plains
President Mike.
Eagle Plains Resources lots. I bought into this at 9 cents yesterday. And someone's really pushing me on this. They're saying this is a big deal and to sell around 20 to 25 cents. I don't know. I didn't really look into this company. I know the guy really well. I know him personally. And he told me, like, he came to my shop and told me, do this guy. So I'm going to let you guys research this one for me and let me know. I did buy some of it. Eagle Plains Resource Lot, EPL.V. Let me know if you guys are in EPL.V, and if you're not, can someone maybe take their time to look at this for me for a couple of minutes, and maybe in the comments after the show, let me know what this company, what's going on here. See if there's any news. Eagle Plains Partner Commerce Drill Program on Donna Gold Project, South Central British Columbia. Eagle Plains ALX execute purchase agreement for Access Lake claims. Plains shareholders approve all matters at AGM. Eagle Plains /37 Capital execute option agreement for Acacia Project, Central British Columbia. So this is definitely a place I could go visit. It's in my province. I could take a 7-8 hour drive to wherever this place is and go find it and go check it out for you guys myself in person. So kind of get an insight on the company. But there it is right there, Eagle Plains Resources. So he's telling me basically if I invest in, he said if I could, if it goes up, put a little bit more down. So we'll see what happens. Just kind of throwing this out there. Okay, wow, we got a lot of comments here. Going back to gold and silver, as the U.S. Constitution would make the government more responsible. Yeah, of course. They're going to have to. I think China will be the first country to announce a true gold-backed currency. I think what China needs to do is start destroying some of its currency that's out there floating around and sell its what China needs to do is sell its U.S. treasuries and buy more gold. That's what they need to do on there. That's why it's an economic war. The battlefront is open, and that's what I'm seeing, right? Russia's been doing it too. So 26 Gunter says, what will make government responsible again is when the citizenry decides to clean it up. Yeah, less government jobs too. We don't need more government jobs to clean up this mess. Andre Nicotina says, when deflation occurs, our money becomes more valuable, which benefits consumers but makes the federal debt even tougher to pay off. Of course, because the currency is worth more, we're enslaved no matter what. A small group of central bankers hijacked almost every world economy. Of course. Why do you think my home country of Portugal was sanctioned to death? And because our government, we had 5-6 colonies, and the 5-6 colonies we had didn't want to leave Portugal. They wanted to be part of Portugal because they knew if Portugal left, it was going to be misery, and which happened after Portugal left. And all the currencies in these African countries were actually backed by gold in Lisbon, in the capital, which Portugal still holds one of the biggest physical gold reserves. Italy on paper and the US have the biggest gold reserves on paper. Unfortunately, I don't think they have it. I know Italy's gold is under the Twin Towers in New York City. Most of their gold was put there after World War II, and they've made several YouTube or videos showing the reserves, but a lot of it's been propped, I've heard, like from a lot of people. Gold wealth, it's very, very few countries in Europe still have it, and Portugal is one of them. They remain neutral. They were sanctioned to death, kept them poor, even though they were neutral during World War I and World War II. They kept countries poor purposely and destroyed their empires because they refused to join the World Bank, right? And yeah, and then Portuguese African countries reopened their doors to only Portuguese only. And then the EU got mad at that and said, why are you only letting Portuguese only to come in and work. It's like, well, that's too bad, isn't it? And here it is. Gold prices hedge higher as investors weigh tentative Brexit pact. Weak U.S. economic data support haven buying. So that's it. People are buying, and a lot of people were in China right now. Bullion dealers are closing. It's hard to find an open bullion dealer, and the Chinese government is issuing to people to buy more gold. It was an article I read for you guys. The Chinese government is telling people to buy more gold. And what does that tell you when a communist government, a regime, an emperor tells its people to buy up gold? Right? So what does that tell you, right? So we got so Portugal got screwed badly. Now they're sliding towards socialism like Canada. Yeah, that happens every couple of 100 years in Portugal, but Portugal Portugal was good. They had good colonies. They really did. They had infrastructure, airports, soccer stadiums. They spent money on people. Healthcare was great in Portuguese. See, when someone told me yesterday to go back to my country, I said, I would go back if you stopped destabilizing my damn country. I would be living in Mozambique today with my other side of the family that lived there, that have been living there for, I don't know, since they left Portugal in the 50s. But what I'm saying is, we would be in our colonies. We don't have to come to Canada. We don't have to live in a Canadian. But because we keep getting destabilized by the English-speaking or the Commonwealth keep destroying us, what are we supposed to do, right? So when people tell me to go back to my country, I have no problem doing that. I have no problem. But my problem is, if we get good, don't destabilize us, please, right? So gold for December, so COMEX, so we already covered that. Among other metals trader, COMEX, December, copper, okay, and a couple of cents, and palladium is pretty much doing really well too. Again, gold steady, Brexit talks, same articles everywhere. Gold slips into Brexit deal, palladium breaks new records. So it's going to be very, very, very interesting. These things, where is it headed? Where is it going? It is very, 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 very interesting. So we got Kevin Thompson in the comments calling me a dirty pork chop. And we got... Yeah, China sold more U.S. Treasury bonds. Yeah, I'm thinking that they're going to be selling more Treasury bonds. Let's look up China gold back. Oops. Currency. Here it is. Russians stunned. This is from October 17, guys. It's from today. Fangulo, this thing. Russians stunned as Chinese leader pushes gold back yuan. Today, a legend who was just asked by the Chinese government to give a speech to the government officials in China told King World News that Russians listened intently as the leader of the state owns Chinese company pushed for a gold-backed yuan. The problem is, it's good to have a gold-backed currency, believe me it is, but it's going to leave a lot of people in poverty in China. It's going to leave a lot of people in poverty in China. Like, a lot of people will be dirt poor overnight. So that's a one thing to look at. Another thing with the gold-backed currency is that it's going to be hard to find currency after. Currency, like I remember when I went to Portugal, like in the 80s, like late 80s, when we went back to visit, I remember it was so hard to find money because it was backed by gold. The escudo, it was gold-backed currency. It was so hard to find any money. It was so hard to get money trading in when you go to foreign exchange. There was a huge money issue, right? Because people were hoarding their money, right? So So there it is. They want to back gold. It's very dangerous. So here it is. I also found interesting that the Russians were attending and listening intently to the Chinese Gold Congress. I'm sure the Russians were surprised at an open discussion of a Chinese gold-backed currency. This shows what the Western sanctions have moved Russia and China closer together as Russians look, sorry, I thought this one was there, to the east for financing. We also know that the Russians have been big buyers of gold. The Russians have moved up their reserves from 600 tons to well over 1,000 tons. So the Russians also continue to accumulating gold. What we are seeing is the last gasp in terms of US dollar strength. You see the Chinese, Russians, and other countries buying currencies other than US dollar. So this is very dangerous, guys, because like I said, Shanghai Larry's on the ground for me, and Shanghai Larry's been telling me. He's like, Mike, bullion dealers are closing. Mike, bullion dealers are selling gold 30% over spot. Right? Mike, so real Kevin Thompson saying this guy can't read. You better you damn right I can't read. That's why this is called Cant Read Market TALK. And if Kevin Thompson doesn't like it, he could go straight to hell. Ben Centroff, it's good for communists to keep country wealthy and use cheap labor all over again. Yeah, that's what's going to have to happen eventually, right? Timothy Mack says, can't wait to see what silver does because there is around 2.78 billion ounces in investment from compared to 6.8 billion ounces of gold. Yes. So, guys, remember, there's a lot less gold surfaced than, there's a lot less silver surfaced than gold, okay? In 1903, we had, it was like 3 silver ounces to every 1 gold ounce. Now, it's for every 6 ounces of gold, you have 1 ounce of silver. So, we got to be really careful with this because I know silver is severely undervalued. I know silver is so severely undervalued, you guys have no idea. Okay, even in a Ponzi scheme format that we're in today, like a Ponzi scheme format, okay? Silver should be at least $33 an ounce. At least in the Ponzi scheme we're in. At least $30. I'm just kind of like trying to level with it here. Like I'm trying to level with the price of silver. It should be sitting at least $30. No, it's like what, $18? $17? No way. So, real Kevin Thompson says, I was placed on timeout during trends in the renters market last night. For no reason, says Kevin Thompson. Ben Setrov says, also, did you hear Alberta's going nuts when they get ignored by Ottawa? They are thinking about separating from Canada. Yeah, see, Alberta would be kind of better off being an independent province, country, because it's there's a lot of things happening. We're spreading the wealth and having to live under the Queen's yoke and all this other stuff. I think if Alberta became, I think other provinces will follow suit. BC would stay. I think Manitoba will stay. Saskatoon will stay. I think Quebec will leave. And I think New Brunswick might leave too. New Brunswick and Halifax is turning into Asia there. So they're basically looking at fixing that. Like, so it's going to be an interesting change of times, guys. It really is. I'm very interested to see where things are going to be heading, guys, to be honest with you guys. Anyways, I got to get going. I got to go open my store. Let me know, guys, what is happening. So this is a company I want you guys to figure out for me. It's called EPL.V. I bought a bit of it the other day, and I'm kind of looking maybe to drop a bit more into it. Apparently, there's some good dynamics on the company. Comment below after the video. Let me know. Right. So Timothy Mack says on the U.S. debt clock, it shows that silver should be $918 US. I know that, Timothy, but I'm saying in a realistic Ponzi scheme like we have here, this Mickey Mousing we're doing, it should be at least $30 an ounce, just so it's not so undervalued, right? So this might be a good time for people. Guys, you got to do your own research. Don't listen to me. We're just bringing up key topic points. We talk about a stock or two. We're just talking. Okay, we're not. I'm not telling you what to do. Right? Do what you feel you need to do. A lot of people, should not be listening to a guy that can't read when it comes to markets. Yeah, it says Canada won't allow secession like Spain with Catalonia and UK with Scotland. I know. But they tore apart the Portuguese Empire, which was doing really well with trade, growing 200 to 300% a year from 1958, once they got the economic balances going after World War II. The Portuguese, with Angola and Mozambique, Guinea-Bissau, and tight partners with Brazil, they controlled the trade waters, economic trade zones. They controlled everything, but they had to the French, the Dutch, the Germans. They had to go in there and make sure that the Portuguese had nothing and shut them right down to zero. And you see, if those countries weren't destabilizing our countries, I just don't have to. I don't have to live here. So when people tell me to go back to my country, it's fine, but stop screwing my country over, and I won't be here. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and thanks for watching.